Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Are you feeling charitable? No? Oh, come on, please. Smash the subscribe button and the like button and the share button. And please do follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Should we move on from David Tennant? What a controversial hashtag that's becoming over on Twitter. Where did all this come from? Well, he seems to be involved with a lot of Doctor Who media, of course. He's involved with another really big Finish story right now, and it was announced he will be joining Jodie Whittaker and loaning his voice to a brand new game as well. This was all part of some convention where they make some big gaming announcements. It's very interesting, actually, because the conception from fans is that the BBC have made a big mess of Doctor Who, but there's a lot of announcements about a lot of Doctor Who media right now. Awesome, Big Finish, these new games that seem to have really good graphics as well. So that kind of non-central side of Doctor Who, if we get away from the TV show for a second, they're actually doing a good job of creating this really exciting Doctor Who media. But people are really upset about David being involved in this game. I don't think I'm upset, but I'll tell you how I feel about it. So basically, because he's loaning his voice to his game or his body or whatever he's doing right and going to be with the 13th Doctor on this interactive game or whatever it is, people feel that there's just too much David Tennant still in Doctor Who, and it's insulting to the current Doctor, 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and she should be allowed to shine. Now, I kind of agree with this. I'm still kind of getting to know Jodie's Doctor. I think she's too watered down and too bland, and I think Chris should have done a better job of developing her in the past 2 seasons. But I do agree. There is an issue here, and also it's kind of an acceptance that maybe Chris hasn't done as good a job as he could have done with representing this 13th Doctor. We all remember the glass-breaking ceiling trailer for the 13th Doctor, how proud the BBC were that Jodie was going to be the first female Doctor. What happened to that pride? So now you're bringing the most successful male Doctor along for the ride with this first female Doctor. It's rather hypocritical, isn't it? So I understand kind of the outrage around this. But if you come from the kind of opinion that women should never play the Doctor, she's bad, she's terrible, blah, 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 how can you then complain, and start saying that we should move on from David's Doctor? It's a ridiculous statement because you can't have it both ways. You don't want this Doctor. You keep on contriving reasons why you don't like this Doctor, but then you don't want Tennant to be involved because it's basically disrespectful to Jodie. Well, you're doing a good enough job of disrespecting Jodie yourselves, so you can't have it both ways. I say the BBC just have done with it and just bring him back as the main Doctor, because pretty much this is what they really want to do by doing this. Listen, he is the most successful Doctor, certainly in the revival era, and there's a debate whether he's the best Doctor of all time. I certainly think the Russell T Davies era, with the budget, the quality of the writing and the acting, I'd say it probably is the best Doctor Who era. But to be fair to the classics, and let's be fair, they didn't have the budget and they did a fabulous job. So you can't, it's difficult to compare. So it's probably worth not comparing the modern era with the previous era. Very, very difficult. But I've always felt it's the same show, it's the same franchise, just a more modernised version. How do I see this? I think it's very difficult. As I say, I do think it's disrespectful towards Jodie, but listen, Doctor Who and the BBC are an enterprise, are a business. They need to make money. And if they feel Jodie doesn't bring in the attention that they need to do something. So as long as I don't know what's going on with this game, I don't know how much David's Doctor's going to be in it. Apparently, it's an adventure the 10th Doctor and the 13th Doctor share together, which I think is not the end of the world, but people seem to be, I think it's fake offended about this. It's like, the people doing videos about this, we stop bringing David Tennant back. Well, there's millions of people around the world who will be very excited that David's Doctor, the 10th Doctor, is back. I think it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with cameos and people, coming back to do a little bit more. He was very, very popular. And, it's great for the current Doctor to always meet her past incarnations anyway. What's wrong with that? So I don't really see the issue with it. I know, as I say, some people see it as an admittance of failure from Chibnall. But at the end of the day, we are where we are with that. And obviously people are very offended by the Timeless Child arc. I've said before, I'm not. I think it's an interesting arc. I think it's interesting where he takes the character now with it. So we'll see in season 13 what he does with it. As I said at the end of the Timeless Child finale, I said something I can't completely judge at the moment because it hasn't completed the story. There's still so much to tell. And this could jump on to the next anniversary, the big anniversary they're planning in a few years' time as well. That's probably when it's all going to be concluded. So I'm actually excited about that arc, and I can understand why people see it as problematic, but I can't give it a full verdict until I've seen the whole thing. It's unfair as far as I'm concerned. But going back to David, I just don't see what the fuss is about. It's fun to have the most popular Doctor with the most recent incarnation. Obviously, David and Jodie have performed together before, especially on Broadchurch. So, no, I have no issues with this. I think it's a fun, exciting thing for fans to get behind, and I don't actually see what the fuss is about. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with even more videos. See you again soon.